This is Peter Thornbright. He's a data analyst who lives in New York City. He has a wife and a kid, owns an apartment, loves his pet goldfish, and is a die-hard Mets fan. Actually, I lied. This is just a photo of a man, or at least that's what it's designed to look like. But when you look a little bit more closely, you may start to realize that this is no man at all. Something about him is just off-putting. He seems to have this sort of sly smirk. When you zoom in on his mouth, the smirk isn't there. But that's only the beginning. Zooming in reveals far more inconsistencies with this man's appearance. His facial hair seems weird. His right ear is much longer than the left and looks almost twisted at the bottom. His eyes look in ever so slightly different directions, and I don't even know what texture his jacket is supposed to be. All of these small anomalies are because Peter is not real. He doesn't exist. This was an image created by an AI, and this was one of the more normal ones that I was able to find. We also have this guy who has a couple things going on. This cross-eye is the first thing you'll notice, then the fact that he's just kind of warping to the left with some weird stuff coming off the side of him. His hair just kind of molds into his shirt and seems to warp the background. This one definitely isn't as convincing. These images were created by a company called Icons 8. 100,000 of them were created as a resource for people to use. They're all royalty free so long as you attribute this link right here, generated.photos, and they exist so we can eliminate the need for stock photos. Now, if you go to that site, you can generate your own photos in real time. It's a little scuffed, and whatever you generate, you have to actually pay for if you want to use it. But regardless, this is crazy. The fact that this man was completely fabricated from nothing just astounds me. And like, if you're not paying attention, you could think, yeah, that's just a dude. That's just a guy that I could see if I'm just walking around like New York City or something. But before we dissect what any of that means for how it actually affects the world, let's just look at some of these guys. I'll link the Google Drive that these are all on if you want to follow along or nab some of the funny looking goblins for yourself. This resource was made back in 2019, and it looks like they got rid of most of the actual files here, but we'll still go through some of these, and then I'll show you like the updated version. Just look at some of these creatures though. This guy seems normal. Like, you can tell like a few things are wrong with him. Like, the ears kind of don't match up, the eyes are a little wonky. This guy is wide. This guy's freaking Kingpin from Into the Spider-Verse. She's in pain. He's just getting throat slashed. He looks like he has like a beanie, but he doesn't. Like, it's just his hair. She's normal. I don't know who this is, but they are not it. The faces are fine. Everything but the faces are just like abstract. Okay, I don't like this hat action. I don't like this. I don't like this one. I don't like this one. This is the 2022 set. The last one was 2019. Like, I don't know what it is. These just all look so much more realistic. Unless you're looking really close into it, you just can't tell. Okay, this is cool and all, but what does this actually mean for us real people? AI image generation is an insane tool for any artistic medium. You're watching a YouTube video right now, and if I'm talking about, let's just say, ducks. So this is a video about ducks, and I'm talking about ducks, talking about how cool ducks are. I want something to be behind me on the screen. And to do this, I have several options. Either I go out and literally film some actual ducks, like go to like a park or something, and just set up and film ducks for a couple hours, or I look for them online. And there's a lot of free resources out there. Google Images, you can find a lot of them, but some of them on Google Images are copywritten and you have to pay to actually use them. But for the most part, I can find what I'm looking for pretty easily. But what happens then if I need something a little more specific? Like, let's say I need a picture of ducks fighting geese. If you type that into Google, the image results get a lot worse. There's not really any duck and geese turf war going on. Now, I could probably find some if I looked hard enough, but odds are I'm gonna have to pay for them. I could get an artist to draw it or get a 3D render of it, but at that point, I'm spending hundreds of dollars on a picture of a duck. Who in their right mind would do that? But with AI, we're at the point where you can generate an original image of a duck fighting a goose in seconds. You see, this one isn't ducks or geese. I mean, if you squint and put it like really far away, you can maybe make out something, but this obviously has quite a long ways to go. We are a lot closer with people though, and not only have we gotten good at generating people, but we've gotten pretty good at animating them too. This brings us to deepfakes. They've been around for a little while, but basically what they are is an AI interpreting an image or images of a person and either putting their face onto another person or applying the action another person is doing to their face. face. Apps like Wumbo.ai do this pretty simply, making whoever you want sing a specific song. And this became a meme a few years back with literally everyone you can think of singing Baka Mitai from Yakuza 0, all deepfake to the same video of a guy singing it. But this is only the beginning. We are only scratching the surface of this technology. Sure, right now we can generate an image or two, we can make a meme or two, but other people have other plans. Enter Disney. Yeah, that Disney. They own one of the biggest libraries of content in the entire world, including Star Wars. But Star Wars has been around for decades, and some of the actors that played the original cast aren't around anymore. Not only that, but the ones that are pretty old. they don't quite look as limber as they were in the 80s. So Disney has been employing the use of deepfakes to bring these characters back. This started back in Rogue One with Princess Leia and has continued with Luke in The Mandalorian. But especially with Luke, things just seem a little off. Luke's face is deepfaked onto an actor who literally just isn't Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill did not act at all in The Mandalorian. His voice is completely synthesized with an advanced text-to-speech. Like, literally, this is just Uber Duck that's making this. Now, Mark Hamill showed up for filming, but him being there was basically just a formality, as they were using his likeness regardless. I mean, it's Disney, they do whatever the heck they want. But nobody's really talking about this. Like, everyone saw the tech, went, oh, that's neat, made Eminem say something with text-to-speech, and went on with their day. But this is crazy. Like, actually think about it. Like, this is an actual replacement of a human being acting. Like, obviously you had a dude like doing the motion, but like, we're at a point where you could just make a whole Star Wars movie without the cast of Star Wars. And this is Disney doing this, so what is stopping them from reviving other dead actors for their future projects? Theoretically, they could replace the late Chadwick Boseman with a look-alike and add him with CG to a new Avengers movie. That would be messed up if they did it, but they could. They have the ability. I mean, the rest of the movie's CG anyway. Like, look at the set from Endgame. So what's stopping them from going further? But let's get back to our good friend Peter. Unlike how Disney is taking real people and digitally including them into projects, this AI is creating new people. It's making original faces. So this brings up several questions. First, what happens if in 10 years, when deepfakes look a lot more realistic and text-to-speech is more spot on, what if someone made a movie using a cast of completely fake people? Like, with how computer graphics are now, it's getting harder and harder to discern whether something is real or CG. You don't even have to leave YouTube to see some of this stuff. Like, look at the incredible Backroom series here on YouTube by Kane Pixels. Look at the Unreal Engine 5 Matrix demos. I cannot tell what is a shot of Keanu Reeves and what is the Fortnite model of Keanu Reeves. It's crazy. We're at the point where the Uncanny Valley is getting a lot cannier. So what happens when our stars are replaced with artificial people? It's honestly a really spooky concept, but I feel like it would be the other way around. Right now, we're at a point in cinema where every movie is relying on star power. Look at Uncharted. Tom Holland is a great actor, all right? Why is he Nathan Drake? He looks nothing like Nathan Drake. Like, you have good source material, you have people who want to watch that. This is a mini rant. You have a very cinematic game, you have a recognizable character from that cinematic game, and you use Tom Holland to play him, who just doesn't look like Nathan Drake. Since we are in this era of cinema where every producer thinks all you need is just an actor that people like, once this tech is more refined, every actor is going to be in every movie. Like, Keanu Reeves can be in whatever movie they want now because they have the model of him that's so realistic, you could just put him into anything without having to actually hire him. But then what's the point? The reason that we like actors is their delivery, their charisma, and obviously their looks play a role, but how do you replicate the improv of someone like Chris Pratt or Ryan Reynolds, who are making jokes on the fly that make it into the final cut? Like, movies today are just so focused on having that star power that a lot of them just feel the same. Like, the Avengers movies are just starting to blur together, and each one is tied together with that familiar cast. So if the cast is irrelevant, will movies be forced to try new things to succeed? And if you're making a movie with fake people, what happens if one of those AI images somehow perfectly manages to capture someone's likeness? Like, if it is a procedurally generated face, do you get the ability to claim that as a completely new entity? If I do an AI image right now and it spits out just a picture of me, a perfect replication of myself, is that a picture of me or is it something new? Honestly, I have no idea. That's part of why I'm making this video. I just want to talk about this. It's so weird, right? So I'll stop being all philosophical here and talk about some more of the beneficial aspects of this technology. Now, first of all, this is a godsend to small creators. I don't have a professional camera to take B-roll of whatever I'm talking about. I'm literally recording this video right now on my phone. I have the cheap Walmart ring light holding it up. So being able to generate anything I need for a video, either for free or very cheap, is insane. It saves not only time, but money and other resources. And with the level that CG is at, I can make anything I want relatively easy. I just have to take the time to actually learn it, which I can do on Blender for free. Take Kane Pixels, for example, who did the backroom stuff. He is 16, making some of the best stuff and like most cinematic things I've seen on YouTube. Sure, there are some moments where it's more obvious than others that you're like in a like virtual world right now, but a lot of the time you can't tell that this is Blender. But aside from the content sphere, with copyright being such a big deal, even like in school presentations, you're gonna pay for stock images when you're 14 doing a presentation on Elon Musk. So these AI generated images can be used in that way. But someone's just gonna inevitably use it to make more NFTs, so I don't know. I still think it's cool though. It's weird, it's creepy, but it's hype. Think of the meme potential here. Someone ratios you on Twitter and you send them a video of them, I don't know, like eating from Burger King or something. Now that I think of it, things would be far worse on Twitter. Like, just think, a company just makes like a couple thousand bot accounts and they fill them with AI generated pictures of real fake people. Oh wait, I take everything back. No, this is doomsday scenario. Yeah, Burger King tweets out like the women belong in the kitchen tweet that they did, and suddenly 10,000 bot accounts that post like normal humans and have like AI generated photos of them doing different things. They all just start posting pictures of them eating at Burger King. Oh no. Corporate accounts are really bad on Twitter right now, but imagine you don't even know their corporate accounts. You just see like a guy that posts normally and all of a sudden you find out like a year after you follow them, they've been just a plug for Burger King. It's just been a Burger King like inception on Twitter. This is the real dystopia. This is the end. It's the Burger King Twitter takeover. Or maybe not. I don't know. Detroit become Burger King. I'm gonna stop the video here before it gets out of control. So with that being said, I hope to see you in the next one. The Burger King apocalypse. Oh no.